Should you move to Colorado Springs? That's the question we're asking today, and we went through our channel to find the most frequently asked questions about moving to Colorado Springs, and we're going to get to it right now.
I'm Jacob.
And I'm Clay.
We're the Martin Brothers. We're doing these videos every single week about what it's like to live, work, and play in and around Colorado Springs. So be sure to smash that subscribe button, right? If you get value from this video, give us a like. And as always, feel free to hit us up in the comments if you have any questions or want us to do any particular videos in the future.
Also, he left out, ring that notifications bell. It notifies you the next time we drop a video. Jacob and I are both full-time realtors here in Colorado Springs, and we get calls every single day from people wanting to move here, and they want to know what it's like to live, work, and play here. We are helping these folks find their next home here in Colorado Springs. So if that is you, give us a call, text, email, or even come knock on our door. We want to help you guys any way we can.
All right, so people are always asking us what the best places to live are in Colorado Springs. And honestly, that comes down to like what you're looking for, not just in a home, but in the area, right? So Colorado Springs basically sits just west of the Front Range. You've got the mountains to the west of us. So if you're west of I-25, you're going to be much closer to the foothills, right? You're going to be close to a lot of trails that kind of go up in those mountains. There's a lot of benefits and advantages to living west of I-25. I personally live in the northwest, and I love it over there. I'll probably never leave that zip code, which is 80919, because I'm such a fan of it. I'm right next to a park called Ute Valley Park, and it has everything that I want. I don't necessarily love the houses over there because they're a little older, maybe a little more dated. It is a little more expensive over there. But in my personal opinion, I'll not be able to beat that area and the amenities that I have, right? And then you've got, like, say, east of 25. If you're wanting brand new construction, cool houses, but more like cookie cutter neighborhoods, you want to be like in suburbia, close to tons of shopping and chain restaurants and things like that, then you're definitely going to want to go east. You can get more bang for your buck out east, like kind of the Powers corridor and Mark Shuffle corridor. So that's a really good place to look, right? Say you want, like new, like brand new, or newer, close to the interstate, a little closer to the mountains, then you're probably going to want to look north, like around Interquest, Voyager, like Northgate area. And then obviously you've got like central Colorado Springs and downtown, some older areas, older homes, more options in terms of like the different like types of houses in terms of like architecture and construction. You'll have that there. There's pros and cons of each area, right? For a lot of you, a big part of it is going to be like school districts. Some of you may want to be in District 20, or maybe you want to be in D12, right? Well, if that's the case, then you really want to focus on where that school district is. But I say that you still have the option, to choice your child into a particular school or a particular district. We've done another video on that, specifically talking about Colorado's school choice option, which a lot of you probably are not familiar with or you do not have in your state. But basically, Colorado gives you the opportunity to enroll your child, apply and enroll your child into, a school or a district of your choice. So you don't necessarily have to be like so dependent on the individual district. But I mean, those are my thoughts on like the best areas. Like I said, I love the Northwest. I'll probably never leave it. If I were going to move, right, and I wanted to be in like quote unquote suburbia and newer construction, I would probably choose like the Interquest area, Northgate area, because it's newer construction. You're not too far out east. You're close to shopping, but you're also very close to the mountains and the interstate.
That area he's talking about, the Interquest location, which is Northgate, Interquest, It's north, right across from the Air Force Academy. There's a lot of perks about living there. You got a closer commute to Denver, a closer commute to the west side, which is where the mountains and trails are. The Interquest exit is booming right now. More restaurants have gone up in the last 12 months there than I ever thought was possible. It's crazy to see how fast construction has developed from nothing all the way to something. There's a new In-N-Out. But it is a great option. But entry level to get in up there is really close to $500,000 and up.
But I mean, there's pockets all throughout. It really depends on like who you talk to, right? You'll get people, you know, like obviously I tell people all about the west side or the northwest, like I'm in love with it. But I mean, maybe you're PCSing, right? And you're going to Schriever or Peterson or Fort Carson and you want to be close to one of those installations, right? So you're probably going to choose a pocket that's in close proximity to that. I know a lot of military folks that, you know, we work with or that, you know, we've worked with in the past. They choose like southeast Colorado Springs, like the big community Lorson Ranch, or they choose something in Fountain. We can't tell you what the best areas are because the areas are so diverse, and it really depends on what is important to you, right? What you can afford, and just where you want to be, what you're looking for in terms of, you know, your area that you live in and the house style.
So simply put, reach out to us when you're ready to move here. Let us know your budget, your criteria, and we're going to guide you guys in the right direction.
And there's solid areas no matter where you look in Colorado Springs. So, I mean, you may hear something negative about a certain side of town or a region or what have you, but like do your research, ask around, check the area out before you make that decision completely.
All right, the next question we get asked very often is a two-part question. What's the weather like, and does it snow every single day in Colorado Springs? If you're like me, I had never stepped foot in the state of Colorado before I arrived, okay? And I thought Colorado Springs was more or less like Antarctica. I thought it was multiple feet of snow every single day. It was just a place to go and ski. Come to find out, we get over 300 plus days of sunshine. We get all 4 seasons. We get access to the outdoors in every way you can imagine, from hiking, biking, rock climbing, skiing, snowboarding, fishing, stand-up paddleboarding, you name it, people get out here and do it. If you don't want to do it by yourself, talk to a handful of people and you will find somebody that enjoys doing the activities that you do or want to get involved with. Like I said, we get over 300 plus days of sunshine. In the winter months, we average about 5.5 inches per month of snow, so it's not that drastic. We also have so much sunshine that when it does snow and the sun comes back out the next day, it's gone pretty damn quickly.
Yeah.
So one day you're cooped up inside because it's freezing and there's snow on the ground. The next day you're mountain biking and there's just a little bit of mud on the ground. So on a given day, you can have below freezing temperatures, and the next day you could have anywhere from the high 40s to the low 50s. It's crazy that there are some days I can go out and wear jeans and a t-shirt and it's cool but it's not cold, and later in the evening around 4 or 5 the temperature does bottom out when that sun goes away. So the winters here are not as extreme as one may think. The weather does fluctuate, but for the most part there is some consistency there with comfortable temperatures and being able to get outside. When it snows, it's not over. You know, just wait 24 hours and you're gonna have better weather.
Yeah, and when just hearing the temperature can be a little deceiving. Remember, like, it's very dry here, right? So there's not a lot of humidity in the air, and that humidity, like back east or up north, is like what really makes that cold bite. So with the lack of humidity and the drier air, it does make the temperature far more tolerable. And we've got some really good friends that we helped buy a house here when they moved from Wisconsin, and they laugh at us every time that we, like, hunker down because we get a little snow or it's cold, and they're outside and enjoying it. Like, it's nothing for them. All right, so another question that we often see in the comments is, do we have a homeless problem or challenge like Denver or other bigger cities? We've also seen some like Colorado Springs residents that complain about homelessness. And to be perfectly honest, yes, absolutely, we have homeless people in Colorado Springs. If you come out here, you visit, you move out here, you will see them. We're from small town America, right? Small town Kentucky, where there's 30,000 people. There's freaking homeless people in cities like that, you know? So when you look at it on an average, and this is per coloradosprings.gov webpage, when you look at it on average, the numbers average out for any other metro of Colorado Springs size. So yes, absolutely, we definitely have homeless people. When you compare it to other larger metros like Denver or Austin, Los Angeles, I mean, those are really big cities that make Colorado Springs look tiny. It's not nearly as significant. It's not nearly as big of a problem. But yeah, 100%, we do have homeless. You will see them. Overall, like, it doesn't really affect me all that much. I mean, initially when I first got out here, we were, giving money to every person that we saw until we realized that there were really great programs in Colorado Springs that you could donate to instead, that are meant to actually help these people, move on, overcome their challenges, and get back on their feet.
But here in Colorado Springs, there are organizations there in place to help the homeless problem here in Colorado Springs. Some of them are just helping them out by giving them food. Others are in place to help them transition off the streets into a rehab facility or mental health institution if they need it. But some of those places are Springs Rescue Mission, the Salvation Army, and Partners in Housing, just to name a few. If this is something that weighs heavy on your heart, consider getting involved and playing your part.
So the next question that we get all the time is regarding schools, right? People want to know like what options they have and if we have good schools here in Colorado Springs. And to answer your question, yes, we absolutely have some really amazing school districts in Colorado Springs. And I mean, I'm witnessing it firsthand. I have 2 young daughters. I have a junior in high school. I also have a daughter that's in 6th grade. We've been in the school system since 2013, right? So I have quite a bit of experience with it. And overall, it's been really great. I mean, I don't have any complaints. We started off in School District 11. We were in a phenomenal top-rated elementary school in District 11. And then later on, we used the opportunity to choice our girls into District 20 because we're like right on the line. So we choiced our daughters into D20 for middle school. So I've got a daughter that went all the way through D20 middle school and is now in D20 high school. And then I have another daughter that's just started D20 middle school this year. It's been kind of crazy with COVID. She hasn't gotten the full experience, but they're doing their best. Ultimately, when you're considering a move out here, you really need to get a grasp of the areas and then figure out what areas or what district is in that area. And then from there, like maybe there's a school that's not rated very highly, right? And you don't want your child to go there. Learn, do your research about the opportunity to choice, because when you do move, right, you don't have to have your child in that particular school, right, that would be assigned to you. So there's a lot of options. There's charter schools, which are really amazing, offer really great opportunities. There's private schools. For me, I mean, I'm no like child education expert or anything like that. I just know what I've experienced from my move from the deep south, Biloxi, Mississippi, and it's been a game changer. Both my daughters are incredibly happy. They're pushed in the school system to do well, to achieve, and overall, it's just been a good experience for us. But I think if you do your research online, you'll be able to get a better feel for the schools. But for the most part, like I don't really hear anyone complaining, like clients and friends and whatnot. I don't hear anyone complaining about our schools and the different offerings. And if there is a complaint about like your particular school that you would be assigned to, you have the luxury of being able to choice into something different, which for a lot of you is not even an option because your state doesn't allow it.
People ask all the time how they can find out more information. If you go to Google and type in Colorado Springs School District, okay, and then you go and type in those school districts, it'll take you right to the district's website, and you'll have an endless amount of resources and information from that website. We'll try to remember to put the link to each of the school districts in the description below.
Yeah, and then also check out niche.com if you want to get an idea of the different districts and how they rate. And then also greatschools.com will give you ratings or grades for the individual schools to, make you a little more informed. So everyone's asking us, can I buy a house in Colorado Springs? What do you have to say to that, Clay?
Well, it's not a simple answer. Can you move to Colorado Springs? Absolutely. Can you buy a house? Well, it just depends on what your current situation is. It does take money to buy a house. So, how much money do you have to put down? Well, there's different options here. You've got as low as 3% option, 5%, all the way up from there. There are first-time homebuyer programs. There are the VA offers a great program, no money down. So a lot of this stuff is can be a little complicated or detailed. So what we recommend is reaching out to a professional lender. We have a lot that we use that sell houses every single day, and they can help you decide what option is best for you and let you know if you are able to buy a home here in Colorado Springs. If not, don't be let down. There are other options to live here, like renting, and you can get on a game plan to save up money for a down payment so that you can buy in the future.
Even if you are going to rent, like that's no problem for us. Holler at us, tell us what you need from us, right? If you want to talk to a lender, maybe you don't know. Maybe you don't know if you qualify or what that looks like to buy a house. Talk to a lender. It's never too early, right? They can help you get your ducks in a row so that, one day soon in 6 months or a year or whatever that looks like for your situation, that you have put yourself in a position where you can pull the trigger and buy a house and start building that equity in real estate, right?
We had somebody reach out to us last week or 2 weeks ago wanting to rent a home because they could not buy. Well, we ended up putting them in contact with one of our preferred lenders, and come to find out they have a great credit score. They do have money down. They just didn't know what it took to buy a house, and they just counted themselves out for whatever reason. Well, they're going to come out here after the first of the year to shop for a home. It wasn't an upsell or anything like that. It was just getting them the proper knowledge so that they can make the decision which whatever works best for them.
All right, so this has been one of my favorite videos to do, where we actually get to respond to common questions. I hope to do more in the future. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notifications bell so that you know whenever we drop a new video. Hit us up in the comments below if you want us to do another video, a particular topic that you have in mind. We'll definitely check it out.
Or we're going to do another video just like this in the future. So drop us a comment below and let us know what questions you want us to answer, and we'll make sure to address them in our next video. Hey, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye. Guys.